We're in Manchester for the 2015 Party Poker World Pool Masters, one of the biggest prizes in pool, and our venue is the Victoria Warehouse. Round 1 has delivered some fantastic matches so far. Defending champion Shane Van Boning is safely through, along with former champion Niels Fine and Qatari Wally Majid in the top half of the draw. But there was a major upset as local favourite Carl Boyes had a shocking defeat against Chinese sensation Lu Haitao 8-7. In the bottom half of the draw there was a little more home cheer as both Mark Ray and Darren Appleton progressed into the next 8. And last time we saw the formidable Ralph Suke beat Nikos Economopoulos 8-3. Next up, it's the final first round match. USA against Australia as Johnny Archer tackles James Georgiadis.
I started playing pool when I watched the World Junior Championships in my hometown in Adelaide, Australia. I think it might have been 2004. And then since then I've got into it and progressed slowly and then just enjoyed it and loving it. If I became the World Pool Master Champion, it would mean the world, obviously because I used to watch it when I was a kid and always dreaming about winning it, and now I'm here.
I always really enjoy the matchroom events. You know, of course, my big love is for the Mosconi Cup. So anything that Matchroom puts on is a big plus, and a big plus to anybody's career. You know, I haven't won much in the last few years, so winning a big event like this is very prestigious. All the top players in the world here from all over, you know, and everybody's here is gunning to win. Everybody's playing well. So this will be a great notch in my belt.
Both players understandably eager for a victory in this round 1 contest. Archer won the lag, but a dry break in the first brought the Australian to the table. A safety battle then ensued, with Archer going on to take the early lead. We join the action at the start of rack 2. Archer at the table. It's a winner breaks format, so Archer looking to string together a number of racks to really take command. That will do just fine.
We have yet to see in all of our previous 7 matches any player really get the measure of the break. Perhaps Johnny Archer can be the first one.
Well, this could be a quick conclusion. He's looking at the 2-9 combination. A little bit of upper body movement on the 1 ball there, but it went in nevertheless. Two-9, all is fine in the world of Johnny Archer. He leads quickly, 2-0. This was a really nice break, and when the lengthy 1 ball had been deposited, the writing was on the wall.
This was the start that James Georgiadis had last year against Shane Van Boning. Got behind early. It got ugly. Everyone thought, well, it's going to be over any minute now, and he clawed his way back, and he had the serious heat put on Shane Van Boning, but Van Boning prevailed in the end, ended up winning the tournament. I tell you, it was that performance, that gutsy performance from James Georgiadis that got him invited back here to the Masters this year. So the kid can do it. He's got the talent.
Into rack 3, Johnny Archer to break, leading 2 racks to 0.
He has a ball down. And he's got a shot on the 1.
Yes, the disappearance of the 7 help matters there. 2's in the open, so too the 3, plus the 4 and 5. 6 over the pocket. Happy days.
Yeah, Johnny looks comfortable with the break. Getting some good results.
That wasn't the best though, was it? Not the best at all.
And James going to have to come up with something, Phil.
Well, in terms of containment, that safety shot was okay, but considering the fact that the 8 and 9 provide a blocker, I think Archer would have expected to lay a snooker there. Well, that's a snooker, but entirely unintentionally.
Yeah, you could see he waved his hand and apologized. I don't know why, though. He should have just acted like it was meant to be that way. I don't think it's always wise to show that kind of, I don't say weakness, but politeness all the time to your opponent. Johnny tries to pocket that off the kick.
Now then, the 2-6 combination is on. Draw back for the open 3 ball. They won't be drawing back now. It'll just be off the cushion. On the right-hand side, that's James's girlfriend. She came over last year to Nottingham, thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Back for more.
Ashley. Good potting there from James. And being so far away in Australia and so removed from so much of the rest of the world down under, they don't get the opportunity to play against a wide variety of top talent all the time. James works in a pool hall in Adelaide. But it's certainly nothing like Europe, and where there's just it's overflowing with top talent all over the continent, and the USA and places like that.
And there he's overcooked the cue ball.
Yeah. That's disaster. So Johnny Archer will pounce on that positional error on the 8 ball, and it will soon be a 3-rack lead.
Extension called.
Now that's interesting. It's a pretty bog standard 9 ball, and yet Johnny Archer has got the 30-second extension in the locker, so he's saying to himself, why not use it?
He doesn't need it, Phil. Elementary 9 ball. Johnny Archer up 3-0. A glaring positional effort by James Georgiadis. He had the rack one, he had the table, and he gave it up with just 2 balls remaining.
Welcome back to Manchester, where experience is taking on youth.
Thank you, rack 4. Johnny Archer to break, leading 3 racks to 0.
And it's Appleton who awaits the winner of this contest.
One in the side. And a shot on the 2. Into the same pocket as the 1. So just 1 ball down. Well, this is looking like a very nice rack for Johnny Archer.
Given the status of the USA in the world of pool, it's rather surprising, you know, that over the years we've only had 2 American winners of the World Pool Masters. Obviously Shane Van Boening is the title holder. Before that, you had to go back 17 years, all the way to 1997. To when Earl Strickland captured this title. Is Archer going to complete the hat-trick?
Extension called.
I think he's in a similar situation to Ralph Souquet, the gnarled veteran, the man who's done so much. And if he can possibly win this tournament, he has to come into the Mosconi Cup conversation as well.
Absolutely.
And don't think it's not a motivation.
I know that on the American side, they're seem to be looking for younger players for the Mosconi, but come on, how could you go wrong having a talent and an experience like Johnny Archer on your team? You can't.
Well, I think he would have to earn his place, there's no doubt about that. But if he does, well, fair enough. Why not? As you said, he's made 17 Mosconi Cup appearances. He's an avid golfer, Archer, and all golfers like to play the full 18.
Yeah, Johnny's a very good low handicapper golfer.
And in this match so far, the Archer is finding the bullseye. One-way traffic. "4-0. Is that lengthy journey from Australia going to turn out to be fruitless? James Georgiadis trails 4-0.
Johnny Archer with that break shot. Once again, another good break. I think it's fair to say, Phil, that Johnny has had the best results consistently so far on the break that we've seen.
Over Johnny Archer's shoulder, John Morra and friend. I think I've just discovered they're on the circuit in the arena on TV there. So are the dominant exchanges going to continue?
Rack 5. Johnny Archer to break, leading 4 racks to 0.
Well, it usually comes down to the break shot. He's had some good ones. very nearly made the 9 on the break. Turns out to be a dry break, nothing down. You can see it again. The 2 ball kicks into the 9, and the 9 just barely missing that side pocket.
That was an infinitesimal fraction away from 5-0.
Good pot there. Well, like the rack number 3, James did all the hard work. Right down at the end with 2 balls left, he missed a shot on the 8 ball, left 2 easy shots for Johnny. You have to be able to convert. You have to close the sale.
I don't think the green 6 ball will squeeze past the 8 across the top cushion, so that might cause a little headache.
Extension called.
Yeah, good idea to call an extension. You want to make sure you get this right. No harm in taking your time. And you got it all wrong.
Well,
not only that, Phil, he knocked the 8 ball out of the way and gave Archer a huge opening to walk through.
well, that's the cardinal sin in all forms of cue sports, is to sacrifice the pot because you're concentrating so hard on
Extension
position.
called.
Archer elects to take his extension. No wonder he knows if the orange 5 ball is floated in, it could well be 5-0. Should be 5-0. Bottom left-hand pocket is the target. Oh, never in doubt. As you said before, Ted, echoes of last year, this, when young James went 7-1 down to Shane Van Boning. On that occasion he fought back, but will he get the opportunity here?
Yeah, and we were saying at that point, 7-1 down, that it was nigh impossible for him to come back. But he kept that positive attitude. He's a carefree, describes himself as an adventurous guy, loves to have fun, and so that's the way you got to do it.
Well, what occurred there?
I'm not quite sure what occurred there. What a shot.
Well, it was a terrible positional shot from 7 to 8, but what a way to retrieve it.
Misses the 9 in the side.
That was the shot of a 46-year-old coming on 47. It was nervy. There was movement in the back arm. And James Georgiadis gets his first rack on the board, and is that the first of several? Johnny Archer knows he should be 5-0 ahead, but the pot on 9 wasn't convincing at all.
Not at all. That was shocking.
Hello there again from the 2015 Party Poker World Pool Masters. It's Johnny Archer against James Georgiadis. Before the break, Archer was guilty of a very unexpected miss on the 9 ball, and the Australian took advantage to get his first rack on the board and trim Archer's lead to 4-1. Let's head back straight into the arena.
Ashley, his girlfriend,
Rack 6.
obviously
Georgiadis to
relieved.
break, trading 1 rack to 4.
Sometimes you just got to get that 1 rack on the board and everything opens up. Got to get rid of that goose egg. Scratch.
And look at this table. No solace whatsoever for James. None whatsoever. Everything sitting pretty.
That is not the way to start a comeback. That's the way you get sent back to your chair and become a spectator.
Well, that wasn't the best from Archer. Normally very precise with his position. That was a little slapdash. Shouldn't be a real issue.
So still a little bit more work for Johnny to do. But 5-1 up, it's going to be tough for James Georgiadis. Johnny can get through this. There's that sort of nervous tick. You see how he picks up the balls out of the pockets? It's just something, I don't think he even realizes he does it.
Well, the way he's looking at this, it seems to me as though the green 6 ball won't pass the black 8 into the top right, or indeed past the brown 7 into the top left.
He played that nicely.
Which begs the question, look at this, if the green 6 goes, what was all the fuss about anyway?
Well, the way he was looking at it, it's like it barely goes. Plenty of room.
I think the scoreline here doesn't tell the full story. For all of his glittering achievements in the game, Mr. Johnny Archer is out there feeling really nervous. So many signs of that.
I don't know if it's nervousness or, as we said, the sort of nervous tics that he has in his game. And you can see it when he's picking lint off the table and the lint isn't even near the shot. It's when he pulls the ball out of the pocket. He's just got that, he's a bundle of energy out there. And he's always looking to find a way to relax and to release that tension. And there was that scratch from James Georgiadis, and it led to this. Really, I don't know if you really think he's feeling it maybe because of his age or.
Exactly that. No one's immune. The older you get, the more prone you are to nerves. In cue sports, I've seen it time and time and time again. Even players who've won everything, been there, done that, they get
Rack
really
7,
nervous, a lot
Johnny
more
Archer to
nervous than in
break.
their youth.
Leading 5 racks to 1.
No ball down. Oh, he does have 1 ball down. Okay, it's the 3. And a shot on the 1. Well, you can see by the way Johnny walks around the table, he's excitable.
You don't want to be emotionless when you play a cue sport, but you want to try and keep everything on an even keel. Look at Tony Drago, one of the most talented snooker players, one of the most talented pool players you'll ever see, but sometimes self-destructive because
Extension called.
he gets too excitable. When Drago's playing his best, he's one of the wonders of the world.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And now it looks like being a 4-9 combination.
Yes, indeed. Johnny's very adept at this kind of shot. You're looking at 6-1 here. There it is. Johnny Archer. Well on his way to a spot in the quarterfinals of the World Pool Masters.
So in successive matches we've had 2 giants of the game for many, many years on both sides of the Atlantic. Turning back the clock in many respects. First it was Ralph Souquet. Now here, Johnny Archer's in the process of doing exactly the same.
Well, you're possibly looking at a quarterfinal which is just loaded with great names. Should Archer go on to win, you've got Archer, you've got Souquet, Appleton, Fyan, Van Boning.
Rack 8, Johnny Archer to break. Leading 6 racks to 1.
Empty.
The break, the total opposite of the day here in Manchester when this tournament started. Dry. It was very wet on day 1 of the World Pool Masters. That break couldn't have been drier. The only consolation for Archer, where the cue ball is, tight under this top cushion. Big ask. Yes, when you've been frozen out for such a lengthy period, that ball was difficult to pot, but the 8 ball has come to his rescue. Is this the jump stick?
Extension called.
Yes, indeed. Shorty. And he got away with it.
Well, it's karma, that. Georgiadis got the fluke snooker. Why not Archer?
And now it's James Georgiadis' turn with the short stick.
Trading fortune.
Yeah, I don't know how Johnny's going to get at this one ball. Where? And bring it through that alley between the 6 and the 5.
I'll tell you what, if he makes a good contact here, the cue ball could end up in that portion of the table in behind the 9 and the 3. Oh, he hit it much too hard for that to happen. And the one ball is left. Now can Georgiadis ease the pain somewhat?
This is not an easy rack here. He just has to play safe, and he leaves it open.
You're right about it not being an easy rack. Made even more troublesome by the fact that the 5 and the 6 are in such close proximity. Maybe there's a possible combination there if it's arrived at.
That's perfect. Thank you.
3-9. How about that? That'll put a quick end to this rack. That's what he's looking at. You heard him say that's perfect. He saw it. Oh, yeah. Well, James Georgiadis has only himself to blame there. He had the table, and he was forced to play safe on the 2 instead of shooting at a pocket. It's dark days for James Georgiadis. I don't see it, Phil. I don't see what happened last year, the comeback. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, this match has been all about not jump shots, combinations. For the 3rd time, Archer wins a rack with a combination to knock in the 9.
He's had the 2-9 combo, the 4-9 combo, and now the 3-9 combo.
For a large number of years, 2 players have been coming over from Australia to play in the World Cup of Pool. They've never won a match in the event. It's a very lengthy trek, isn't it? To come all the way to lose in the first round. That's bad enough, but to lose very heavily, that really stings.
He comes up empty yet again. So Johnny Archer earlier in the match, first half of the match, had some good results with the break, but not now.
I don't know whether Archer's a keen student of the results in the game and the way things go. Perhaps it's best if he isn't in this instance, because he doesn't want any negativity in the mind. And obviously knowing that Georgiadis came back from 7-1 down to 7-6 against Van Boning last year, would be a little negative kernel of discontent working away in the brain.
Well, if that were to happen, you'd see Johnny picking up a lot of lint off that table and moving a lot of balls around. You just going by the percentages. It's very, very unlikely Georgiadis can make this comeback.
Well, let's cut to the chase here. 23 editions of the Whirlpool Masters. If the Australian won, it would be the most astounding outcome in the history of the event. From here,
they're forced to give up the table by playing safe.
Extension called.
it's not been a good summer in England for Australians playing sport. Of course, the Ashes have been won, regained by England. And now Georgiadis could be on the thick end of a hiding.
Oh, he almost made that kick shot. That was a terrific shot from Johnny Archer. And he got away with it.
It never rains, but it pours. And you know, the end could be nigh. Contact has to be made. And even then, no guarantees of safety. Could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
The pot on the 5 is tough, especially with the cue ball where it is. Position from 5 to 6, even more so.
That was a great pot. With position on the 6.
That was vintage. Running side, tough pot, absolutely superb. I think Georgiadis looked around to see whether his cue case was there, because he's thinking about the fact that in a few seconds' time the cue will go in it. All of the states in the United States have a name, don't they? He's from Georgia. It's called the Peach State, and this so far has been a peach of a performance.
Yeah, this is one of the better performances we've seen out of our 8 first-round matches. Now, you could say that maybe the opponent wasn't quite up to speed, but still, all in all, a fine effort from Johnny Archer. You can turn out the lights because this party's over. Oh, no way. No way. Is that the commentator's curse?
That's the nerves of a 46-year-old. Don't blame us, blame him.
Wow.
Just 2 words. Who knows?
Wow. That is shocking. I'm not quite sure why Johnny seems so excited, like he's rushing through the shots. I mean, he kind of like galloped back to his chair to get the discard the extension, but there wasn't really any hurries. He's kind of he stood right up on that. Oh well.
There's a seed of doubt now in Johnny Archer's mind. It's a very small seed, but I tell you what, if Georgiadis can win the next couple of racks, that seed could lead to something a lot bigger than Jack and the Beanstalk.
That's what happened against Shane Van Boening in his comeback last year.
Into rack 10, James Georgiadis to break, trailing 2 racks to 7.
He was absolutely dead and buried. Well, then 1 ball goes in off the break. And a 2 ball goes down. Shot on the 3. Okay.
We often talk about the mythical pool gods, and when you miss a 9 ball like that to clinch a victory, those pool gods tend to snub you for a while.
Oh, yeah. They get very angry.
Balls on a pool table are inanimate objects, but sometimes they don't act like it.
I think Johnny just sort of lost his focus. He was just too fast, too excited, similar to what happened to Carl Boys last night in that other match when he had that 8 ball, what was it, a foot? Got to be the easiest shot ever, and he missed it because he lost his concentration. Oh, and he's going to get away with that.
The pool gods.
I don't know if Johnny was paying attention. If he was watching that match last night, you have to follow through until the very last shot. Let's see if he can do it here. I think this time he's going to be able to do it, Phil.
Yes, lightning doesn't strike twice, does it?
Slow down. Take your time and close the deal.
He still looks decidedly edgy though. 7-2 ahead, golden opportunity to win. He still looks edgy. There's no getting away from it. And I tell you what, Darren Appleton will be watching this and drawing positives from it.
Well, take your time, Johnny. Call an extension if you have to. Stay down with it. That's it. He got a reprieve from the pool gods. Johnny Archer, a definitive win over James Georgiadis. No comeback this year for the young Aussie.
I played well. I made a lot of tough shots that I haven't been making lately, so that was a good confidence booster. The easy ones, I can live with them, because I know that you're gonna make them next time. But the tough ones, the medium tough ones, are the ones that if you're missing, then your confidence goes, because now you don't want nothing hard or nothing, But I made some of them, so as far as my confidence-wise, it's still good, even though I missed a couple easy shots.
The last 8 lineup is now complete. We have 2 Asian players, 2 from North America and 4 Europeans. There are still so many big names in the running for this $20,000 first prize. Join us next time as the quarterfinals get underway here in Manchester.